Hey everybody, this is Scribe, and joining me as always is the lovely ranting monkey. Say hi, monkey.
Hi, guys.
And the ever handsome SDA. Hi, SDA.
Hi.
And if you hadn't noticed, my voice is sounding better, and we have crickets in the background because it's a nice, quiet evening, and everybody hates my jokes.
I forgot to close the window. Sorry about that.
Now, Monkey's microphone is really sensitive, and he has the window open, and there are crickets chirping in the background. I can hear them. I don't know if the audience can, but I was hearing them most of the time. So let's see. Well, first, let me actually get to the chat so I can actually see what chat's doing. Because God forbid. First, I want to say thanks to everybody for the well wishes over the last couple of days in my sickness, because it has been quite the roller coaster health-wise. Between it just being, at first, my voice being kind of crappy, and then the last 2 days have just been horrible with fever and garbage in my throat, and not meatloaf even, but actual yuck. And then about halfway through today, it just kind of started clearing up. So I'm miles and miles away better than I was last night even. So again, thank you so much for the support and the well wishes on Twitter and otherwise. How are you guys tonight?
I'm back.
Oh, well. How is the monkey tonight?
Oh, sore but happy to be alive, man.
Yeah. SDA, how are you doing?
I'm good.
That's good. So anything exciting happened last night that I missed? Any good
You
jokes?
weren't there.
What now?
What?
What'd you say?
Said you weren't there.
That's exciting to you? Oh,
Very exciting.
oh, I can just go
No, it's okay.
if you want to be
Chat
excited.
missed you.
Oh,
What did you like read the Star Wars list again and get all pissed off? You're mean as
No.
fuck today.
I'm not mean.
You're mean.
so I've been floated a theory on why SDA gets quiet
Uh-oh.
during streams with the three of us. Would you like to hear this theory?
I would.
So the theory is that yours and my rapport, monkey,
Mhm.
intimidates her. That we are effectively creating a pseudo patriarchy, the two of us in these streams, that is oppressing SDA.
Oh, shit. We're going to get picketed.
I know. SDA, what do you think about this theory?
That I'm intimidated by you guys.
Yeah, that our natural sort of
Who
camaraderie.
the fuck said that?
It was floated to me by a viewer. I won't name names just because I don't want you to like go all Xena Warrior Princess on him or something. Yeah.
Well, I mean, is it a viewer who happens to be autistic?
Oh,
damn.
I don't know, but
I'm gonna go with yes.
She's mean
okay.
tonight.
All right.
I'm not
Well.
mean tonight. It's just that only an autistic person who doesn't know how human interactions work would think that. And
Who
that's,
don't know how? You're pretty street
I
tonight
said-
too.
I corrected myself. You calm down.
All right. Do we want to talk about anything before we get into the wonderful schnews?
No.
No, SDA.
I'm good for the moment.
No, I'm good.
Okay. So this was covered sort of in real time last night. It is in no small part the inspiration for the title of this stream tonight, but that was the London attack that occurred last night. And we have more details today after 24 hours or so of developments and such. So I'm going to go through this relatively quickly because a lot of it was probably covered for the most part last night, but I'm still a little not informed on what all the latest is. So let's see. London terror attack. Police fired unprecedented number of rounds. Armed officers responding to the London Bridge terror attack fired an unprecedented number of rounds at the three attackers because they were wearing what appeared to be suicide belts. 8 officers fired 50 shots at 3 attackers. I guess pause for a second. 50 shots is unprecedented because this is London where they don't have guns all that much.
So that's in the UK, because over here that'd be like nothing.
Yeah, 50 shots is like what? Like there was a paintball rally or something. That's nothing.
That's what they would do for an unarmed black guy.
To ensure they were neutralized, said Mark Rowley, Assistant Commissioner for Specialist Operations in the Metropolitan Police Service. The suicide belts were later determined to be fake, suggesting the attackers deliberately used the belts to ensure they would be killed. Rowley said he was not surprised at the police response. 7 people died and 48 were injured when 3 men drove a van into pedestrians on London Bridge before leaping out and launching a stabbing spree in nearby bars and restaurants. The ISIS-linked Amaq agency claimed a, quote, detachment of Islamic State fighters carried out the attack, but CNN terrorism analyst Paul Cruikshank cautioned that ISIS has provided no evidence to back up its claim. Amaq also claimed ISIS was behind the attack at a resort in Manila last week, despite Filipino authorities asserting it was not terror-related. Of course, the Filipino authorities asserted that no one was hurt initially, too, so take that for what you will.
Yeah.
The latest developments, according to CNN, a large area south of London Bridge was cordoned off as intense police investigation continues. 36 victims were still being treated in London hospitals Sunday, with 21 in a critical condition. Police carried out raids Sunday morning in Barking, East London, arresting 12 people, one of whom has been released. May, I'm assuming Theresa May says police have disrupted 5 credible terror plots since the Westminster Bridge attack in late March. Okay.
Jesus, they've stopped 5?
And this one got through. And so did the Manchester one, because the Manchester one took place after March, obviously. Yeah, so they go into a little bit more about the arrests and the raids, but all of it's very vague because they're not releasing any information quite yet. Let's see. So, and I wanted to jump over to a related story about Trump versus the mayor of London, sort of.
Oh, okay.
The latest.
They've been having it out.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Trump denounces horrific attack on London. President Trump is denouncing as horrific the attack on London and vowing that, quote, this bloodshed must end. Trump made the remarks during a Sunday night fundraising event at Ford's Theater in Washington. Ford's Theater, okay. Immediately after the deadly attacks in London, Trump turned to Twitter to comment on the attacks. His remarks at the annual fundraising event for the historic theater were his first public comments. Earlier, Trump criticized London's mayor on Twitter after he sought to reassure residents about a stepped-up police presence in the city's streets. In a series of tweets, Trump challenged London Mayor Sadiq Khan for saying there is, quote, no reason to be alarmed. Trump also pushed his stalled travel ban, took on gun control supporters, and pledged that the United States will be there to help London. Let's see. Yeah, so Sadiq Khan's comments apparently were not welcomed. Let's see, and so going back to the CNN article regarding that, London Mayor Sadiq Khan praised the quick police response and asked Londoners to remain calm but vigilant. He repeated his previous insistence that, quote, London is one of the safest global cities in the world.
Bullshit.
One of the reasons we're kept safe is because of the hard work of our police and emergency services, Khan told CNN. Over the next few days, Londoners and visitors will be seeing an increased police presence that will include increased armed officers. Let's see. And then we've got some eyewitness accounts of the attacks, and I'm not going to rehash that. It's pretty much just gruesome stuff. And so, as my brief bit of sort of held over commentary from last night, there's not much else to say other than, you know, I was talking to somebody earlier today how I feel like I'm living inside of a cartoon lately, in the sense that, first and foremost, Donald Trump is president of the United States.
Yeah.
Secondly, this frequency of ridiculous and destructive terrorist attacks seems like the kind of fiction that most action movies were based on in the 80s and 90s. I mean, like every action movie was some kind of terrorist attack, some kind of over-the-top hostage situation, anything from toy soldiers to executive decision. It was just like every action movie had to involve some kind of overblown terrorist action, no matter what source it was from. And so it almost seemed comical after a while that, you know, just like anytime there's an action movie, well, it's a terrorist attack. And then you look at the real world and it's like, well, those things don't really happen that way. But today, you'd be surprised, or you'd be hard pressed not to imagine that we're living in a 90s action film half the time. And not like an entertaining one. Again, just like,
yeah.
So
Bruce Willis isn't saving the day.
No, and it's just surreal to me. It really is. It's this constant drumbeat, so to speak. Thank you, Sanguine. London is one of the safest cities if you just ignore the bodies piled off to the side. Action movie. Oh, God.
For those of you joining us, there is a $sign in the lower left-hand corner of your chat box where you can make a donation to Scribe, and he will give you a personalized advertisement, and you can pick what product you'd like him to associate with your name.
Just make sure it's like a really out there, difficult to do product.
Okay.
He's still not feeling well. Make it easy for him, guys.
Yeah, no, I keep my brain active. It's fine. Let's see. Oh boy. Let's see. How can I do this? In a world where the president is a game show host and terrorists threaten every city on the planet, only one man can stop them all. Sanguine. That's it.
That was good.
There you go.
Really good.
Now,
Hey,
I'm assuming the Sanguine is a male.
yes. I got in
could be
trouble
wrong.
I got in trouble for calling Sanguine a girl, so that he is a guy.
Okay, all right.
Unless
Guys,
it's
if
a
you could-
non-binary.
Could be non-binary.
Sanguine, are you
Guys.
a non-binary?
Sanguine might be O positive. Hi-oh.
Well played. Well played.
Let's see.
Guys, don't forget to hit like on this stream too. That helps get us up in the algorithm so more people see us.
Oh,
and,
yes. Yes. The
and
thumbs
we
up
should be
to help.
seen.
That's debatable, but, thumbs up either way.
No. See, I will be arrogant for all of us. We should be seen far and wide.
No, I think we have a really good stream.
Let's
We
see.
do. It'd be better to wear that outfit.
Yeah, oh, yeah. That Native American bikini thing. Oh.
Oh, God, yeah. That would be better than the Leia bikini.
Scribe, what Ed Brubaker comic would you recommend? Just about anything in regards the Winter Soldier arc was excellent. Just that whole, that kind of goes without saying, I think, but I just saw that there and I said answer that one because I was reading comic books earlier today. The other story that is kind of interesting was the protests in Portland that had been of controversial nature since the stabbing that took place on the train and then the planned free speech Trump protests that were coming up.
Did you watch any of Tim Pool's live stream? I think it's still
I did
going
not.
on.
No. Yeah, well, yeah, it only started I think earlier this afternoon. It's only a couple hours ago, really.
He started live streaming at 3:00 my time, so noon for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the rally itself started at 2 p.m. Eastern or Western time.
Mm-hmm.
So sorry, I'm just.
No, it's okay.
I was watching the stuff going on, and it wasn't too bad for the most part. One guy got arrested for rushing. They were trying to keep the sides split, and they actually had a really good police line right in front of Antifa. Because where they're doing the actual free speech rally is a federal park.
Mm-hmm.
It's on federal land, so Homeland Security is there.
Okay.
It's not just the Portland police. Portland police were there, but so was Homeland Security. They were lined up really good. The only really bad thing I saw is one Antifa-looking guy, except he didn't have his face covered, tried running into the park, and the police stopped him, and then he pushed somebody, so they wrestled him to the ground. But it didn't look too bad. It was actually, considering what could have happened there so far, it's been peaceful.
Okay.
See what happens when night falls.
Did you have a story? Sorry. I did. Yeah, that's all right. So this is what at least CNN is saying thus far. Police use pepper spray to break up competing protests in Portland, Oregon on Sunday as a tangled web of emotions arose over a deadly train stabbing in May. Portland police said they closed Chapman Square due to criminal activity and threatened to arrest anyone who remained in the park. Officers deployed impact weapons and chemical munitions after protesters threw projectiles at them, including glass bottles and bricks. Most of the people who left were protesting an event billed as a, quote, Trump free speech rally. Hundreds of supporters of U.S. President Donald Trump converged on Terry D. Shrunk Plaza for the demonstration, carrying Make America Great Again signs and wearing the corresponding red hats. They were slightly outnumbered by the mixed assemblage of counter-protesters across the street, led by a group of self-described anti-fascists who viewed the free speech rally as a promotion of racism. Let's see. And
they were actually hugely outnumbered because the square park that they were in
Mhm.
There were protesters on 3 sides of that.
Oh, geez.
Antifa was on one side. There was a union on the other side, and I forget what the third side was.
Hmm.
Yeah, they were vastly outnumbered.
Let's see. The groups were separated by a wall of officers, heavily armed and wearing protective body armor from local and federal police agencies. At least 2 people were arrested shortly after the demonstrations began, Portland police said without providing details. Tensions continued to build 1 week after the deadly stabbing turned the city into the latest battleground over free speech and race relations in the Trump era. Quote, "We hope and pray that both sides try to keep in mind that in the big picture, it might be easy to forget with all the emotions running high that we all have the same basic needs," said Portland resident Margie Fletcher. Her son Micah was wounded, and the other two were killed as they tried to intervene in what Portland police called a hate speech toward a variety of ethnicities and religions directed at 2 women riding on the train. Then they go over the crime some more. Let's see. Yeah, they don't really cover the protest much after that. Just sort of going over the stabbing again.
There was some neat stuff I saw. Like there was one time this Antifa guy was trying to carry his Antifa flag across the street to go into the park,
Mm-hmm.
and he had it on a pole, and officers stopped him, cut the flag off the pole,
Oh,
would not let him go in with it. And when they went to hand him back the flag, he's like, "You can just keep it." It's like, that's funny. They had this giant skeleton head that they made and skeleton hands that got confiscated by the police.
okay.
The police line actually pushed them back like 50 feet in order to get that and take it away.
Whoa, thank you, number 13. Is that like Shub Nugaroth by any chance? Chris Ray Gun and Lacey Green officially a thing is newsworthy in itself. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that briefly when we get to the YouTube part of things. But thank you so much. Do you have a product you'd like me to do an ad for you with, or do you just want to make it like dealer's choice, so to speak? Just let me know in the chat. Keep an eye on that.
Yeah, when you guys are donating, if you don't have a product, let us know so we can start working on one for you.
Number.
Yeah, it was kind of interesting to watch Tim Pool's stuff because there was one great time he's walking down the street and somebody goes, "Oh, Tim Pool, fuck you."
Oh, Jesus. Well, that's fame for you, I guess.
Yeah, and there was one part where there was a guy just running around shouting, "Tim Pool, Tim Pool," and would not leave him the fuck alone. He actually had to go ask cops to keep the guy from fucking with him.
Wow.
Yeah, it was interesting to watch. I actually just sat here and watched for like 2 hours today. I'm sure he'll break it down and have a video on it. If you guys like Tim Pool, you can watch.
Yeah, I was practically bedridden from first half of the day, just binging Flash, the TV show.
Okay.
I want to talk about that later too, with Wonder Woman having come out and some of the reviews I'm reading. I'm talking about superheroes and stuff in a little bit.
Sure.
Let's see. And so I don't have any potpourri stories tonight. Nothing I found was potpourri worthy. I do have one other story that caught my eye off of CNN.
I have one.
Okay, well, let me do this one first.
Sure.
This last one here, because I think this is one of those things where, well, I'll read it and maybe you'll get what I'm kind of concerned about, because it's one of those, are we overreacting kind of deals. Facebook wants to be hostile to terrorists. Facebook says it wants to make its platform hostile to terrorists after an attack on London left at least 7 people dead this weekend. Apparently, they didn't want to make it hostile to terrorists prior to this. Simon Milner, the company's director of policy, issued a widely reported statement Sunday that said the social media platform works, quote unquote, aggressively to remove terrorist content. "We want Facebook to be a hostile environment for terrorists," he said. UK Prime Minister Theresa May had earlier called for closer regulation of the internet, saying Sunday that terrorists need to be denied the digital tools they use to communicate and plan attacks. "We cannot allow this ideology the safe space it needs to breathe," May said. A very interesting turn of phrase, I'll say. Yet that is precisely what the internet and the big companies that provide internet-based services provide. And then they go into kind of like, the increased pressure from governments to have tech companies crack down on quote unquote hate speech and so on. And
I don't really consider planning a terrorist attack or actually planning to kill people to be hate speech. I would just say that that's incitement of violence and planning
Yeah, conspiracy.
attack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that's not a free speech issue. That's just they're actually planning an attack. So
Yeah, that's conspiracy to commit a crime at that point.
yeah.
Yeah. But I guess the thing about the story that kind of caught my eye was, how the reaction to want to do something to try to solve the problem, but trying to solve a problem that isn't the problem at hand. It's like the internet is not causing this to happen. The internet might be allowing radicalization to occur a lot more easily, but it's because most people are seeking it out themselves, not because Facebook is facilitating it.
And at the same time, if it's on Facebook and you know where it is,
Yeah.
then you know right where to look.
Yeah.
So why take it off? I mean, then you just have to find it elsewhere. I mean, for like intelligence agencies.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't understand why now they're going to be hostile to terrorists.
Well, yeah, that was the thing. I was just like, well, after this, we're going to be hostile to terrorists. Like, well, okay, ISIS has been around for a few years now. They've been using social media for quite a while. Remember all those beheading videos and such? Yeah, so this has been a thing.
Yeah.
But I guess the thing is, like, using this as an excuse to regulate speech even further on the basis of we're fighting terrorism. That's the slippery slope that I'm consistently worried about, let's say. Let's see. Did we get a product for...
I'm sorry, I wasn't watching.
No, yeah, I'm just looking through. I don't see anything. Okay, well, in the absence of anything specific, you guys have any ideas? I can even say the guy's nickname right, because that's a number.
How about an action figure?
An action figure. Oh, okay. God, I love the old action figure commercials from when I was a kid.
Yeah.
They don't make. I don't even know if they make those anymore. Do they? Action figure commercials?
I don't watch TV.
Yeah, neither do I.
Netflix.
Let's see. Pow, bam, boom, snubberth with kung fu grip. Smack evil in the face with 13 ways of killing them with your pinky. Now with squeeze leg action. I don't know. I just remember the old Marvel the DC superheroes characters from the Hall of Justice. All of their actions where you had to squeeze their legs together, and like Superman's little fists would pump up and down, and then Joker's hand would come down with his hammer, and it was all based on squeezing the legs together. They'd do something, and I used to have a bunch of those.
What? I'm sorry, I just read a comment from Mesh. I can never say that.
Meshitu.
Thank you. Did you see Vegan Gain's latest video? He's made up his roaming millennial and sucking on a cucumber. What a dick. No,
wow.
I will.
Wow.
I will. Speaking of being
what story did you have?
Gay?
Yeah.
I actually have to screen share for this one. So it's visual. So here we go.
Let me focus in on you then. Go ahead.
Hot on the trail of the Romp Him, a streetwear brand has produced a line of pastel see-through shorts and buttons for men. And if you think they look dumb, the social justice crowd says you're basically intolerant. If you think this is horrible, you're intolerant.
This is awful. And I am I'm intolerant of this, definitely.
You know what, Scribe, you and me should get these and use cams and just do body shots for the whole stream.
Oh my God.
No, I will quit.
You'll quit.
No.
Okay, you can stop presenting me. There we go. I saw that and I'm like, holy shit. But yeah, if you don't like that, you're intolerant.
Is that a joke? I mean, is that a Poe?
No, this is true. It's from remember the romper story we covered?
That. I just think that something with the lace that just seems over the top.
Well, I didn't scroll down. They show the guys from the knees to about belly button in just the shorts.
Jesus.
It's horrible. That's over on Heat Street if you guys are interested. Yeah.
So I'm without any kind of potpourri stuff tonight, so I figured we'd just jump right into MSS News because you guys have been superheroes and lack of a better phrase, just sending us stories after story after stories. There's just so many, it's difficult to choose which ones to focus on. But I'll try to get in as many as we can here since we're not doing potpourri tonight. Let's see. So the first one we have is from staff reporter Jack Cochran. And it is, oh wait, did the monkey, oh, Sanguine. Thank you again. When you want to look like a prison bitch, buy Romtham. Yeah, dealer's choice on this one.
For the record, I didn't read it, but if you read a little further into that article, that outfit cost $100.
Let's see.
Anyway,
Dealer's
sorry.
choice. Gosh, I'm going to go for facial tissues because I've been using a lot of those the last couple of days. This broadcast is brought to you by Sanguine Facial Tissues. When you want a good blow, think Sanguine.
Oh, nicely done.
Okay, so the first story from staff reporter Jack Cochran. A CNN host assumed an Indian American spelling bee champion could read Sanskrit.
What?
Ooh. Well, Jack Cochran classifies this as a microaggression. A CNN anchor became the target of rebuke for assuming that the 2017 National Spelling Bee champion, a California resident who's of South Asian descent, is used to using, unquote, Sanskrit. Allison Camerota and Chris Cuomo were talking to 12-year-old Ananya Vinay on New Day after Ananya's Thursday victory at the Scripps National Spelling Bee. Toward the end of the interview, and after several awkward seconds of asking the sixth grader to spell Kofefe, Camerota joked about the origin of the gibberish that President Donald Trump conjured on Twitter last week. Quote, "It's a nonsense word. So we're not sure that its root is actually in Sanskrit, which is what you're probably used to using. I don't know. Anyway," Camerota said. Vinay, an Indian American, is from Fresno, California. Yeah, that doesn't mean she doesn't know Sanskrit, but all the same. Criticism of Camerota's comment has since been circulating on social media. Many said her comment was racist, while others were simply in disbelief that the CNN anchor had made such an assumption. Here's a sampling of the reactions. Oh, God. CNN guesses the U.S. National Spelling Bee winner is used to using Sanskrit. If she were Jewish, would you say your real language Hebrew? ?
Actually, a lot of kids who are raised Jewish know at least some Hebrew. So,
Yeah, they probably
just
would.
saying.
Yeah, so anyway, it's a bunch of outrage over nothing. Let's see. A CNN spoke.
How come white kids can't win a spelling bee? The fuck is wrong with white people?
Well, have you seen
underrepresented.
CNN's editorial standards?
Fair point.
Let's see. And then they just go over like her winning word and all that fun stuff. So whatever. Anyway.
It was a stupid joke. It was a throwaway joke. Lighten up, people.
Let's see. And here we go. Our first Florida man of the night.
Oh, yeah.
Again from staff reporter Jack Cochran. Miami Herald. Man charged with trying to kill McDonald's manager over his food order. This is from Almonte Springs. A man accused of shooting a McDonald's employee over his food order faces a charge of attempted murder. Well, thankfully, it's attempted murder rather than the worst it could be. Police told WFTV that Freddie Hormazabal, 39, became upset about his food order while in the McDonald's drive-thru and went into the restaurant on State Road 436 in Altamonte Springs around 11:11 p.m. Wednesday. He then got into an argument with the manager and demanded a refund. When the manager asked Hormazabal to leave, Hormazabal shot him in the neck before leaving the area. Hormazabal was charged with the attempted murder and turned himself in to Volusia County officials, according to the Altamonte Springs Police Department. The manager was taken to Orlando Regional Medical Center. And that's the story. Florida Man.
Monkey Dick, Jim Jones movies, Florida Man.
Oh, is Florida Man part of the litany now?
Now it is.
Oh.
Chewbacca is black.
And Chewbacca is black.
Chewbacca's woke, yo. He's not a Wookiee. He's a Wokey.
He's a Wokey.
Wokey. I bend my Wokey. Let's see. Something funny. Okay, well, this isn't funny so much, but another Jack Cochran story, and it's Facebook related. 62-year-old German woman fined over 1,000 euros for sharing anti-migrant joke online. A 62-year-old German woman has been fined 1,350 euros by the government after she shared and liked an anti-migrant joke picture on her Facebook page. The 62-year-old Berlin resident Jutta B. from Lichtenberg was arrested and had her home raided by police after she shared a picture on Facebook entitled, quote, "Do you have anything against refugees?" unquote. For sharing the picture, which included disparaging comments about migrants, the woman was sentenced to a 1,350 euro fine, German newspaper Berliner Morgenpost reports. Since her arrest and subsequent fine, Facebook has banned Jutta's account. In court, she claimed she had liked and shared the picture in question without fully reading the content. "I like to pass on funny things," she told the court. The prosecution referred to her actions as, quote, "an utterance capable of inciting hatred and denigration of the human dignity of others," unquote. Okay. This is kind of what I was talking about. Arrested and her house raided for sharing a picture on Facebook.
Yeah. Where was this at? I'm sorry.
This is in Germany. This is in Lichtenberg.
Okay.
But it was the actions were taken by the government. I don't know if that's the local government or the national government, but let's see. Hate speech in Germany has become an important issue for Angela Merkel's government since the beginning of the migrant crisis in 2015. German police have raided dozens of homes over the period for hate speech, ranging from some promoting Nazism, whilst others were simply classified as xenophobic. There's not much more about the story except that it's just ridiculous that sharing a photo is now a arrestable, finable crime.
Yeah, there was some of that same stuff going on in London or in all of the UK after the first London Bridge attack.
Right.
The people who spoke out about it were getting in trouble rather than, this is why I keep saying free speech should be the number one thing we push throughout the world as we're pushing our bullshit onto people. Why not throw in free speech as well?
Mm-hmm.
I missed a story yesterday that I want to cover because it was actually sent to us by both staff reporter Jack Cochran and C. Bernier, I think is how you say that. Okay. Thank you both so much for the story. You guys might remember the guy with the tattooed Joker face.
Yes.
He was arrested for a second time within this week. The Joker is allegedly at it again. The tattooed face Florida man who made headlines just over a week ago when cops said he was waving a gun at traffic has been arrested a second time. This time, Lawrence Sullivan, who sports a permanently pasty grin of Batman's biggest foe inked into his face, has been charged with possession of marijuana. Sullivan, 29, was slapped with the misdemeanor just over a week after witnesses called 911, claiming they had seen the man with green hair and facial tattoos like the Joker from The Dark Knight pointing a loaded handgun at vehicles driving past him. Yeah, so he's on a roll. Hopefully the marijuana calms him down and he'll stop pointing guns at people.
Well, so usually marijuana is the gateway drug towards worse things, but apparently waving a gun is a gateway to marijuana.
Hey, you never know. You never know how people get started.
The Joker is just a ball of chaos. He's turning everything on its head.
I understand people getting tattoos. I do not understand tattooing your face, especially like that.
I don't know. I mean, those Native American painting markings are tattoos on SDA's face.
Okay, I'll give you that. Sometimes it can look nice.
Yeah. Were those painful, SDA?
I have a really high pain tolerance.
Oh, now you do. I've taken my never mind. I say taken my flogger to your ass a few times, but that'd just be dirty of me. Let's see what else we got in the news. This is another one from Jack Cochran. Jack Cochran is just all over the place for us. Thank you, Jack. Let's see. Headline's interesting. Caesar salad with a side of misgendering when dining out means getting outed. Okay. I haven't read this yet, so this is all new to me. Let's see. It reads more like a blog post, but this is from Everyday Feminism. I thought they were closed now. Weren't they out of money, or did they make all their money?
I think they might have made enough to last for the month.
All right, well, here we go. Let's see how important and vital this story is. Let me tell you a secret. I found the world's best Caesar salad. It's 2 big romaine hearts grilled on an actual grill, no less, with fresh shaved Parmesan cheese and delectably crunchy croutons. And you get to eat it with a steak knife. It's the fiercest salad, and I love it. But I gotta tell you another secret. Sometimes it leaves a sour taste in my mouth. This is because despite all the deep care that goes into this dish, it almost always comes with a side of misgendering. I'll explain. If my budget were a wee bit bigger, I would eat at the restaurant down the street, let's call it Caesar's Palace, every day. Also, if I wasn't agender, and if my partner wasn't non-binary. This is because from the moment we walk into Caesar's Palace to the moment we exit, we're soaked in gendering. Hello, ladies. Can I get you girls anything? The women's restroom is that way. One time, we counted the word ladies used 13 times in an interaction at the table. Okay, I'm going to read this verbatim. Ow, 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 ow. In restaurants, gendering inevitably crops up in various ways, from the microaggressive to the violent. Not to mention, being misgendered can hurt on its own. But what if an employee calls you a lady and your ID doesn't match what the server sees? What if the employee questions you about your ID? Do you tell them your gender? Can you still enter? Do you still want to? Or what if an employee calls you a lady and the bathrooms are gender segregated? Where do you go to the bathroom? This goes on for like at least 7 more pages. I'm going to stop here unless you really want me to continue, because that's
no, because my head is about to explode.
Yeah, this is a thing that someone spends time on and gets paid to do, I assume, out of the meager funds that Everyday Feminism now has to its name.
It's amazing that they're shutting down.
I know. I can't believe that with content like that, with hard-hitting, just gut-punching content like that they're not more popular.
The fuck. I wish my life was so good that this is what I could bitch about.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. Let's see. I'm looking.
There's so many things I want to say, and it's all just coming out as fuck. What is Jesus Christ?
Okay. Is this? Oh, this isn't Florida Man, but this is Kansas couple. Maybe that'll be a new thing. I don't know. Also from staff reporter Jack Cochran, who's just deluged us in stories. Couple playing Pokemon Go in Kansas cemetery finds something scarier than ghost types. Okay.
Oh.
It started out as an innocent round of Pokemon Go in a historic Kansas cemetery over the weekend. It ended with a call to 911. Tim Johnston and his fiancée were playing the app-based game in Topeka Cemetery on Saturday afternoon when a push alert sounded on his cell phone from the WIBW TV station in Topeka. The alert said police were looking for 2 aggravated robbery suspects who were armed and dangerous and on the loose. Johnston checked out the mugshots of the 2 suspects, then went back to playing the game. Not even 5 minutes later, he saw the suspects walking through the cemetery. He called 911 and gave his location. I have a visual of the 2 suspects you guys are looking for, Johnston told the dispatcher. Police arrived within minutes and arrested Tamara Brooks and Ryan E. Betcher. The 2 are accused of kidnapping a woman on Friday, taking her to a hotel, and robbing her. She was held against her will overnight and released Saturday morning. Police said the 2 suspects, said to be homeless, allegedly used a gun and large knives to commit the crime. Yeah, got to catch them all. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I guess it pays to pay attention. And of course, here's the other thing. If this had happened, 10 years ago, those guys would have walked right through and not even noticed.
I didn't know people were still playing Pokemon Go.
Oh, well, not even that, but just like the ability to just be alerted immediately of like crimes and wanted suspects and things when you're out in the field. Essentially, that whole thing just
Yeah,
boggles my
sure,
mind
sure.
sometimes.
You know, that was actually a thought I had when I was watching Tim Pool's live stream earlier.
Mm-hmm.
It is amazing how many people were taking video there.
Yeah.
Because,
And
like you said, even 10, 15 years ago, the most somebody might have had was a Polaroid.
yeah, Joe Citizen these days are beating major news networks for either live coverage or just on the spot footage of events as they happen. And and on the flip side, we've talked about this before, like with some of the Mizzou incidents or claimed incidents. If something really outlandish happens, especially amongst a group of people these days, if there's not video of it occurring, it puts it into doubt whether it actually happened. You know, a guy barges into a theater group or something and starts yelling racist stuff at people, and there's no footage of it. Nobody took out their camera phone and took a video of it.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's kind of a weird flip side of things. It's like, well, you know, eyewitness testimony isn't enough anymore for credibility. There also has to be video footage, because why wouldn't there be these days? Kind of an interesting thing that I've noticed lately.
Yeah. I'll admit it. If you go back to like the Mizzou thing and where they said there were like 6 black guys standing there and one white guy come up and started giving them shit and then called him nigger, and none of them had video, I call bullshit all day on that. There's no way kids, not one of them had a fucking phone they didn't pull out and start recording. You're full of shit. So yeah, I'm with you on that one, because it's just too accessible now. Everybody has a fucking video recorder right in their hand.
Mm-hmm.
Except you. Does yours take video?
Maybe very briefly, but I still own a dumb phone, so it probably can't do much of anything.
Gotcha.
And that's really all the stories that jumped out at me from MSS News. Let's see. So unless, do you guys have anything else you want to do news-wise?
Well, not really. I mean, we have the news/YouTube stuff to lead us into the next part.
Yes, there's that. So the big celebrity gossip of the day is that it's been confirmed by the subjects at hand that Chris Ray Gun is currently dating Lacey Green. Star-crossed lovers in the ideological wars of skepticism versus social justice.
I mean, not really. Chris Ray Gun, shut up, is pretty far to the left on most things, so that's really not a big jump.
Well, he is still anti-social justice, though.
Yeah, but he's still a lefty, so.
Now, am I the only one who immediately thought, hey, she likes anal?
Maybe. Why would you think that immediately, Monkey?
Because I think that good for Chris. He's going to get to literally tap that ass.
Well, he will get to see the breasts of Green in person.
Yeah,
presumably.
He'll be one of the few people that's seen the top of her head.
Yeah.
That's so fucked up. Don't laugh at that. But Jack Cochran said, wasn't he dating that hot Barbara chick? He was. They seem to have broke up like a month or two ago. Mm-hmm. They both kind of had a little area there where they seemed down, but never really announced that they weren't seeing each other anymore.
Yeah, and just imagine if it weren't for the fact that both of these, Chris Ray Gun and Lacey Green, decided to go YouTube-y, they wouldn't have met. It's one of those.
Yeah, true story.
There's that. Anybody that's read Watchmen, the graphic novel, there's that one point at which Dr. Manhattan suddenly realizes the value of humanity when he understands the randomness of two people coming together to conceive a child in the unplanned way that works in nature. And so when I think about this and I think of all the things that had to line up for two people to come together and something as specific as this, it always kind of occurs to me.
Ranting Monkey, hey, there's a new game on Steam. I don't know if you know about it. It's called It's the Police. I don't. I'll check it out.
I'll look it up. Do we have any other YouTube drama or news to cover before we talk about videos?
No, not that I know of. Except Bloodwing did make a video calling me a poo-poo head,
Oh, that's right. You're a poo-poo head.
and you were a cultural appropriator.
Yeah, I forget exactly what it was I did again.
You did the beatbox.
Oh, right, I did the beatboxing. Yeah, and then SDA was like in a Native American bikini.
Which made the whole video for me.
Yeah, that pretty much did too. Yeah.
Except for Bloodwing, why did you need 6 minutes after that?
You
It should have only taken like 2 tops.
Yeah, you could just held freeze frame on the bikini girl, and that would have been it.
But yeah, if you guys haven't seen that, go check out Bloodwing's video. Not now. Wait till the stream's over, but definitely go watch it. So, who did videos today? Anybody?
No.
Yeah.
My cricket's back.
Yeah, get the crickets back. Yeah, I've been out of the video business the last couple of days because I was just so sick, so I haven't found anything yet. I'm meaning to try to find something. So for those of you that know him, it's I Think I'm Real has hit me up to do a collaboration, and I'm sort of passively on the hunt for a video that the two of us could do together. I haven't found one yet. I might have been able to. I should have probably saved that Privilege Walk one and done that because there's plenty of stuff in there. But in the relatively near future, hopefully there will be a collaboration video between with he and I out there. But for the time being, I'll be looking for something tomorrow to work on. I don't know what it'll be yet, obviously, but yeah, that's my sort of non-update update.
SDA. Did you work on any video? Are you working on a video?
No. When I'm working on a video, it's like the hour before the video comes out.
Yeah, I know. You piss me off. You go, I'm going to make a video. And then like 2 hours later, it's up. And I'm like, fuck you. Yeah, I'm not.
It's like rarely ever planned. Although I've thought about on my second channel, maybe going back through some of the young adult books that I liked when I was a teenager and rereading them and reviewing them, because I haven't read them in years. And I wonder if I would still actually like them, because I really don't like the young adult genre anymore, and I just thought it might be interesting.
Like the Babysitter's Club?
What?
Nothing.
That's before her time, dude.
I know.
Yeah, you're just old, Scribe.
I should do reviews of Encyclopedia Brown. That'd be great. Anyway, I've also been invited in the near future to be on a stream with some other peoples regarding BDSM. That's still kind of a proto idea, but that's soon to be in the offering, I suppose. What about you, Monkey? Are you working on anything?
No. Well, kind of. I have a vegan one about half done, but I took today off. I feel like hell, but I still took Grand Monkey to the park and barbecued tonight. Speaking of vegans, I had a nice juicy burger. And man, it was good. I'm glad that cow died. But I don't have anything that'll be ready anytime soon. If the stars line up properly, I'll hopefully have one out by Tuesday. We'll see.
So I got one extra story that's been mentioned a couple times. It was a video was sent to me on Twitter, and somebody in the chat mentioned as well. I guess I'll bring it up. I can't show the video, obviously, but if you look up CNN stages protest, you might find it. But apparently, so this is from Powerline. Mark Antro observed CNN staging a protest by Muslims against ISIS and terrorism and filmed it. As you watch the video, you can see that this is not a bona fide demonstration that CNN observed and reported on. Rather, the entire event, one could say, pitifully small event, is being stage directed by CNN for its cameras to advance CNN's narrative. In this case, the story CNN wants to promote is that most Muslims reject extremism. That might be true, but if so, it would be nice to see more than 15 or 20 people participating in a faked event. Let's see. The Associated Press shares CNN's agenda, so it was happy to piggyback on CNN's AstroTurf with this tweet, showing the same photo op, but cropped to make it look less forlorn. I haven't watched the video yet. If that is so, that's interesting. Fake news, anyone? Yeah.
Yeah. CNN is just completely fucked their whole brand.
Yeah.
There was a great t-shirt I saw watching Tim Pool's live stream. It said CNN is ISIS. Anyhow. Yeah, nothing else really seems to be going on.
Oh yes, it was
YouTube
Irate
lately.
Prostrate. Irate Prostrate sent the video. Sorry about that. We should have a conversation
Sure.
in this
What should we talk about?
nebulous space before we get to chat and such. We should have a deep, adult, thoughtful conversation. I have no idea what about.
About what?
I have no idea. But it just seems to me that the three of us here, as entrenched as we are in all of these crazy or incoherent narratives lately, there's got to be something that we can talk about in regards to this, because we're thoughtful people, I think.
Most of the
I think we're thoughtful, yeah. I'd talk about the terrorist attack, but I don't even know what else to say, because I'm so sort of punch drunk, for lack of a better phrase, about the whole thing, because every week now, almost literally every week, something like this happens. And we've got people making apologies for it on one side, people going completely bug nuts hate mob on the other side. I don't know if there's a happy medium in there, but I don't know.
I said last night that I have terror attack fatigue. Like, I'm still up over the last one that I don't even have it in me to give a shit about this one, which upsets me.
Yeah.
Well, Chris Reagan, I think is the one who tweeted this out. I may be wrong, but it was a tweet I read said, ISIS has figured it out. Explosion kills a lot of people, gets you a lot of hate. But if you just kill a few people at a time, no big deal. And that seems to be what they're doing now. These small little attacks that are just pretty much making nobody give a shit anymore.
We've built up a tolerance, a callous to it all. Yeah.
Desensitized. It happens.
Yeah.
It's sad. But the scary part about that is they want the attention. So what's going to happen is, as these get eventually one-day coverage, which is basically what we had with last night, it's not on all of the top things anymore, and they're going to have to do something bigger to get attention. That's the part that scares me about it.
What's the solution?
There's not one.
I mean,
they already let the mud slimes in. I mean, what are you going to do?
Well, I mean, so just almost okay. The old phrase goes, "There's nothing new under the sun except the history you don't know." There is some. I know there's got to be some kind of analogous situation in the deep, deep past that is maybe not to this, the kind of modernization we have with the way the attacks are going on now, but something where there was ideologically based attacks and everything else, and there was a solution. Something made it stop at that time, eventually run out.
Yes and no. I mean, the problem here is there's not a known enemy, and what I mean by that is it's not a state we're fighting against. They call them the Islamic State, but they don't have a country they're fighting out of.
Not yet.
It's random groups who are loosely affiliated, if at all, with ISIS, doing horrible shit in their name. If you go back to like these school shootings, it seemed like there for a while it was every week or every month we had these, and it was plastered all over the news, and then it kind of died down. That's the best case scenario here, is that these guys just get bored with it and it eventually stops. There's no way we're going to stop them. There's just not without rounding everybody up and locking them away.
And if it gets worse in Europe, because you have to remember, it's not just about the terrorist attacks. I mean, these people, the migrants, they don't assimilate into the culture. And they think that if you're wearing shorts, it's okay to rape you because you're a Western slut.
Yeah.
And I think if the assimilation part gets much worse, in Europe, you're going to end up seeing Muslims just rounded up. Because it's not just about whether or not they're committing terrorist attacks, it's about the culture too. And I would say that the culture is an even more intrusive portion of the problem.
Well, it is, because that you were very right about them not assimilating to the culture, and
And you know
especially
what?
like here in America. Go ahead.
Sorry. It's
Go
not
ahead.
it's not even the migrants either. Because if you actually pay attention, a lot of these Muslim gangs, or these gangs that go around just trying to tell people not to drink or smoke, in the UK, you listen to them and they have British accents. So some of them, and some of them don't. So it's not even just foreigners. I don't want to say a homegrown thing, but it's a culture of Islam.
Well, yeah, it's the culture. The Manchester guy, he was born in England. What's being imported is also the ideology, not just refugees and migrants. Thank you, Sanguine. Thuggies, stranglers, and the English eradicated them. And since I mentioned thugs, scarves.
Scarves. Let's see. Oh God. Well, see, so I remember a lot of guys with scarves and stuff, but when I think of scarves, mostly I think this broadcast is brought to you by Sanguine Scarves. If you're a magician and need the cheapest trick you can possibly get your hands on, try Sanguine Scarves.
There you go.
Yeah.
Guys, if you'd like your own personalized ad, there's a donation button in the bottom left of your screen. Don't forget to tell us whether or not you have a product in mind.
But my point is that as that culture gets more widespread in Europe, you're going to see actual incentive for Europeans to want these people just rounded up and gotten rid of, which is a really scary thought.
Yeah. But at that point, are they going to be able to?
I don't know, but they would probably try. That's my point.
No, in Europe, I figured, at least, if past is prologue, the problem is that it is wrong to persecute someone simply because they are affiliated with a religion. Full stop. I mean, that is, doing some kind of religious purge or something.
Yeah, I don't disagree. Let me just make that clear. I'm not saying that would be a good thing. I'm just saying that I can see where these people might get so fed up that they go to extremes to get it to stop.
No, I think the fear of stepping on that line or risking crossing that principal barrier of vilifying people first and foremost on the basis of religious association or belief, and as well the fear of being branded a racist or taking such actions or implementing such policies that would effectively criminalize looking a certain way or something. All of that will halt any serious action that would maybe stem the tide.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say that if, like you say, now I do not disagree that a program of orientation and assimilation should be a mandatory component of people coming from completely different cultures into the West. I don't think that's wrong. I don't think it's a bad thing that should happen. I think it's necessary, because obviously if you come from a place where the laws are X and you come over to a place where the laws are Y, you're not going to operate on the same level unless you get some kind of education prior to really entering society. However, I think the pushback to that will be, you're trying to destroy our culture, you're being racist, you're being Islamophobic, etc. So the fear of those accusations and those buzzwords are going to be what pushes back against what really would mitigate some, not all, but some of the threat from ideologies and cultures that are just incompatible with the West.
Now, I don't think that anybody should be rounded up or anything like that, but I actually don't think that it's unfair to judge individuals based on their chosen religion, because your religious affiliation is not, it's not something that you can't change. It's an ideology that you choose to follow. So I don't have a problem judging somebody for being Muslim. Because, I mean, if you've chosen to follow that religion, then you've chosen to follow that particular religion.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Falcon. Before I ask this, I've learned about wars all my life, and I know about the horrors, though not having been through it myself. Do you think we will have to liberate Europe again?
I could see it happening.
I can too.
Yeah.
Sadly, yeah, I could definitely see it happening. This is one of the reasons I am so anti-SJW, because Scribe's right. We're at a point right now that you can't even stand up and call this shit out, because if you do, you're Islamophobic, you're racist and a xenophobe. It doesn't matter that what we're talking about is actually cultural and not race related at all. Mm-hmm. Just because a lot of Islamic people happen to be Middle Eastern doesn't mean that's the problem. It's not the color of their fucking skin.
Well, it's their ideology, like
ideas in their head.
That's why I don't care about judging somebody for being a Muslim. There are plenty of Middle Eastern people who aren't Muslim.
Yeah, why was it okay? Sorry, go ahead.
It's not about them. It's not about their skin color. It's about their ideology. I mean, look at Malaysia. They're not Middle Eastern, and they're still caning the gays and trying to figure out how to their gay prevention videos.
Yeah, they want prevention videos.
It's not a race thing. It's their ideas, which again is why if you're a Muslim, I'm gonna judge you based on what you accept to be true. Yeah, and if you follow Islam, then I think you're a fucking crazy person who probably is not a big fan of women.
Why was it okay? Okay, so what ideology were we trying to defeat in the 60s? Okay, communism. I'll just answer that for
no, sorry, I was coughing. Yeah.
Yeah, communism. But communism was always a bad idea, but it wasn't a racist opposition. But this is the problem. The idea of Islam being conflated with a race is, I think, part of the biggest problem, is because you are the language has effectively associated a race and religion as unified, and therefore you cannot attack one without attacking the other, and attacking the other is inherently wrong on principle. And that is the brilliance, the diabolical brilliance of this wordplay, is that this shield and defense against criticism of an ideology having been tied inexorably to a race makes it a no-no. I mean, if communism had been associated specifically with a race somehow, then yeah, it might have been more difficult. Like if communism had been associated specifically with black people somehow, okay, yeah, even back in the 60s, that would have been a big no-no. It would have been really hard to defeat it or something, or to try to oppose it or try to argue against it. But it wasn't. Communism was just an idea, and it was a world-spanning idea. I mean, it was in China, it was in Russia, it was in Southeast Asia, all over the place. So communism knew no specific skin color. Since Islam, radical or otherwise, is so closely associated with the Middle East because that's where it came from, now it's somehow we have to separate these two things.
When Riley Dennis says stupid shit like, how come everybody associates Islam with the Middle East? I don't know, Riley. Where's Mecca? Where is it, Riley?
Also, I need a product for Falcon if he hadn't already said something in here. Let me scroll back. Falcon, did you have something? I'll check and see if I did miss something. I just don't want to have to go to war. Okay, well, this is Falcon's follow-up. Scribelight, I just don't want to have to go to war because of the cost, and I don't want to have to live with that weight on my mind. I agree. I don't know another way out of it, though, without, I mean, first we have to change people's minds into thinking that the ideology and race or ethnicity or something are one and the same. Islam is not a race. If you are Middle Eastern, it does not mean you're
But-
also Islamic.
But
Muslim.
I want to throw this out there. It's not just with Islam that this happens. Don't forget, wanting to keep Mexicans out of the country is racist.
Yes.
Everything nowadays that a certain radical leftist ideology pushes says that if you question anything they believe in, it's racist, it's sexist, it's some phobic.
Yeah.
And that is what needs to be stopped if we want to keep this from getting to the point where, we have to go liberate Europe again.
And yet we are, and not individually, but sort of as government and national, etc., are afraid of any notion that we are acting or making policy based on racism or homophobia or Islamophobia or whatever. There's such a fear of being called bad names over things that might be unpleasant but pragmatically necessary.
Well, it's not even look at what happened with Bill Maher yesterday.
Oh yes, yes.
That
He had
was
to
funny.
apologize for
I'm
a
sorry.
joke.
It was, and I can't believe Bill Maher apologized for it. I
Of
mean, this
all
is the
people.
guy who sat there across from Ben Affleck and basically told him to go fuck himself over Islam. And then he says, and then he makes a joke. And then he apologized. Like, really? You are
My problem with him apologizing for that joke is that he refused to apologize for what he said after 9/11, which I thought what he said was stupid, but at least he stuck to his guns. And to see him apologize for a joke when he wouldn't apologize for that. For those of you who don't know, after 9/11, Bill Maher ended up actually getting fired from ABC because he said that the terrorists weren't cowards. They were actually brave.
Yeah, from their perspective and what they did.
And,
yeah.
I still disagree with
that. It would take some balls to fly an air. I mean, and the other thing too is that it was
Here's where I
coordinated to be
disagree with
bigger,
that.
but I don't know.
You have to remember their ideology. To them, this was going. They're going to see
That's true too.
God. So now, if they were atheists who did it, I'd say, yeah, that's brave as fuck. So I still disagree with him on that, but at least he stuck to his guns there, And then because he said nigger, because he said house nigga, he came out and fuck you. He is such a cuck now. Fuck him.
I need a product for Falcon because he hasn't mentioned anything, and so.
Okay.
Ooh, yes.
Chains for your slaves.
What?
We started talking about house niggas.
You're getting so abstract now. Oh my god. Oh my god.
It felt appropriate
Chains
to the
for your
conversation.
slaves.
Yeah,
I mean,
for your house niggas.
They didn't wear chains. They
Once did.
were in the house.
How do you keep them in the house, monkey?
You beat the ones in the field enough that they don't try doing anything.
Falcon doesn't care. Midgets? Do an ad for midgets. Okay. Okay. I'm going to think about that one for a minute. I think I can come up with something for that one.
Okay.
So continue on. I'll think of something here. I'm going to pen.
Is that Lady Monkey?
Yeah, that's Lady Monkey.
Hi, Lady Monkey.
Hi, Lady Monkey.
They say hi.
Thank you for the well wishes last night, Lady Monkey.
No, nobody's talking.
Oh. Hi, SDA. Hi, Scribe. Glad you're feeling better. Hi, chat.
Thank you.
Scribe said thank you. Okay. Did you do your commercial yet?
No, I'm actually going to try to script this one a little bit because I got to come up with something good. There's so much I can do with midgets, so I'm going to make Falcons midgets. So I just got to get it right.
Okay, those crickets
Mara
aren't
said,
me.
but monkey, they have nothing to lose but their chains.
Yeah,
That's true.
I've heard that. I still love that from the Trump inauguration protest, the women who chained themselves together and actually had the balls to say that. Emperor Vulcan says, thank you for being on my stream tonight, SDA. Did you join the stream?
Yeah, I did.
Did you have fun?
Yeah, it was fun.
Did you miss us?
I missed you.
Oh, snap. You are cold tonight.
I want to hear the
Do
midget.
midgets get their
thingy.
Own line of fidget spinners.
Ooh,
Ooh.
are their hands are smaller, right? I can't. Well, because like their
And yeah, they
heads
can't-
and like their trunks are the same size. They've just got like really tiny limbs.
Mhm.
So do
And they
they
have
need
those
like
cute little pudgy fingers that don't like bend all the
ew?
way. What? I like them. You
Gross.
stop. Do either of you have fidget spinners?
No, I didn't even know what they were, that they existed
See,
until the stream the other night when we talked about them.
of all the fidget toys I've seen, those are the ones that I like the least. I've seen one where it has like a bunch of different sides, and it has sort of like a slidey, like the on a 3DS,
Mhm.
the thing that it's like, I don't know, like that like lets you move around.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's got like that on one of them. See, I would like that more than a fidget spinner. Because, like, with a fidget spinner, you can't really fidget. Like, because it just, I don't know. It doesn't, like, you just spin it and then you're done.
Okay, I've got it.
Sounds like my sex life. Go ahead.
Oh God. All right, here we go. This broadcast is brought to you by Falcons Midgets. In the wee small hours of the morning, when you might be feeling a little alone, remember the tiny pleasures of midgets. Falcons Midgets. It's the little things.
Nice.
Oh, Jesus. I'm going to hell.
That's all right. I'll meet you there.
Oh, Lord.
And you can both fuck midgets together.
Oh, no.
How tall are you, SDA?
She's tall.
Taller than a midget.
She's
Okay.
5'10" in heels, she told us.
Oh, that's right.
Like,
5'10".
really, really high heels.
Oh, so you're like what, 5'2"?
No, like 5. I'm like barely 5'5".
All right. Oh, let's see.
Those are my Cougar shoes.
Wasn't the Ariana Grande concert tonight the benefit deal?
Yes.
Okay, well, I'm fingers crossed that we hear nothing of it other than it was a good concert.
I'm fairly certain it already happened. Shoot.
It's already come and gone?
Well, yeah, because it was in Manchester, so it's like
yeah,
it's like the
there
early
was-
hours of the morning for them.
Where
Oh.
Twitter shows you the little
Yeah.
video of what they think is amazing going on. I saw her singing earlier.
Okay. Let's see. Well, let's talk about something much more important than all that. Let's talk about the Wonder Woman movie.
Oh, sure.
It apparently is not that bad. All I'm hearing from trusted people that I trust. The second hour, I guess, or the second half of it kind of starts taking a downturn in the quality levels of things. But overall, it's apparently the best of the DC movies thus far, and a decent superhero movie. Oh, Timothy Sealback, thank you. Bravo, Scribe. Oh, okay. You mean the channel, or you mean the ad?
The ad was
Okay. And Timothy, you of all people should have added what product you wanted in your little super chat. So please let me know what you want, or just call it dealer's choice.
Real quick before you get into what you've heard, I've heard that it's a good movie, and I keep asking people, and nobody's been able to answer this for me yet, whether it's actually a good movie or expectations for a DC movie are so fucking low that it was good enough.
Well, okay, I haven't seen it yet. I just watched a review by Red Letter Media, who are guys that pretty much don't bullshit when it comes to things. And I don't always agree with them on everything, but on a lot of stuff, especially comic book movies, I generally have a similar vibe with them. And the overall from them was it was a good superhero movie. It was more Marvel-ish in its tone, in that it was a lot lighter in tone mostly than the previous DC movies. And that despite all of the media hype and public reaction elsewise, it wasn't as uber feminist or uber misandrist or anything else as has been portrayed necessarily.
I never got why people said it would be, because Wonder Woman is not.
Right.
But so I'm not surprised by that part. I'm just gonna
ask my dad if he wants to go see it. We're gonna go see it, and I'll let you guys know because I really want to know. And you're right. with all the speculating, and you're just like, is it that it's good, or is it that DC kind of got it right, maybe, or what?
Mhm.
And I want to know, and I feel like Monkey might actually trust me to tell him. So
Yeah.
Hey, babe, you want to go to the movies next weekend and see Wonder Woman?
Yeah, we'll just pack up the little one and go.
Okay. Isn't her mom going to be up?
Oh, yeah, she is.
So we can go.
Okay.
I'm making a movie date so I can go see it too.
Yeah, I heard that at least the one big plus that the guys at Red Letter talk about. Oh, thank you, Veneficus Ignis. Wonder Woman is the hottest 6.8 out of 10 this year. Glad to have you back, Scribe. Also, game reviews as my product, please. Game reviews. Oh my god.
You can do that, kid. That's
Yeah,
not too hard.
the one thing I
and you
was
said that we're obscure.
I know, right? Well, the one thing I heard was that unlike many of the superheroes, even Marvel ones, in this movie, Wonder Woman is very specifically focused on helping people. Full stop. Like that is her main focus, is helping people and being a superhero, and not being like emo or having personal problems all the time. Everything else is very. She comes from a very sort of black and white, good and evil sort of territory, and then she's entered into this sort of muck of World War I and all the shades of gray, literally with the way that they blotted out the sun in the color palette. But oh boy, so I need a product for Timothy.
Yeah, Timothy said dealer's choice, which made me think hotel and casino.
Hotel and casino. Oh God.
That's not. What do you consider like not obscure?
Well,
You
it's-
had chains for slaves.
Okay. What I mean by so something that's like what you did, chains for slaves, is really specific. It's like I'd have to tailor an ad just. There's no real room for me to maneuver. If you say something like Kleenex, so that one time the guy said do something with beards, and I turned that into, if you ever want to avoid anyone thinking that you're homosexual, try blah 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 beards. That kind of thing. If there's room for me to maneuver in humor or with my vocabulary, but if you make it that specific, it's kind of like, ugh, I don't know. Let's see, casinos. Let's see. This broadcast is brought to you by Sealbeck Casinos. When you need to have your James Bond get drunk and look for a woman, try Sealbeck's Casinos.
There you go.
Okay, there's something like that now. For this one, game reviews. Are game review? I guess game reviews are a product.
Well, do it like you can do it like it's a game review website or a game review magazine or something like that. Because game review is just kind of vague. You'd have to have. Can you guys hear me all right? I am like leaned way back.
You sound a little.
Yeah, the mic actually picks you up when you're like leaned back.
Yeah, I can hear you, but it is a little.
Somebody.
It's a little muffled, or not muffled, but a little distant. Yeah.
I moved closer, so
We need to get you one of those lay down table stations or whatever.
that thing looks so nice.
Yeah, we got to figure out how to get you one of those things so you can just like recline and have your microphone and your computer right up into your face without having to sit up straight the whole time.
Irate Prostate asked, "How hot is Robin Wright?" She used to be really hot back in the days of The Princess Bride. Last time I saw her, she was looking a little too much like Sean Penn. I think they spent too much time together.
Yeah, she looked pretty good, I'll say, in the first couple seasons of House of Cards. She was able to pull off sort of a very regal, I should say, attractiveness. I don't know if that's still true. I haven't seen the most recent season of House of Cards yet, even though usually when it comes out, I binge it because I've been watching something else, which I'll get to in a moment there. Game reviews. Let's see. This broadcast is brought to you by Veneficus Ignis Game Reviews. If you want to see how Ubisoft has fucked up Assassin's Creed for the 50th time, watch Veneficus Ignis Game Reviews. I don't know.
No, that was good. You did.
I have no idea. I was either going to do something about Ubisoft fucking up Assassin's Creed or get the latest on how Assassin's Creed improves your sex life.
Little Chill Mouse said, "We love you, but they gotta go see you tomorrow. Love you back. We'll see you on my stream tomorrow." By the way, guys, just a note: we're scheduling it for 9:30. I have Grand Monkey and just to be safe, so I'm not late and running to try to get everything set up, we'll do it at 9:30.
Xena, thank you very much. Wonder Woman's weakness used to be having her hands tied by a man. Oh yes, yeah. There was a so I if I remember correctly, the guy who created Wonder Woman actually modeled her after either his wife or the woman that he was in a polyamorous relationship with. The guy who
Did we lose
invented. Hello.
Whoa.
You were breaking up there.
Hello.
Yeah. Hi, Scribe.
Welcome back.
Hello. Okay. When did I drop out?
Right after-
Polyamorous relationship.
Okay, yeah. So he modeled Wonder Woman after either his wife or a woman he was in a polyamorous relationship. Also, the guy that invented the lie detector, the polygraph, and that's where supposedly maybe the lasso of truth came from, is because he was so into that. There's also some, I believe there's a rumor
Good
that
God.
he was also in bondage.
You are breaking up
That's why there
real
was
bad,
also the
dude.
Yeah.
lasso and the tying up and such.
Hey, Scribe.
Scribbles.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you were breaking up real bad there.
Yeah.
We did get that he created the lie detector, that's part of where the lasso of truth came from, and that he was into bondage.
Maybe.
Bloodwing said that it was his mistress.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But Zenith also wants me to do an ad on drones.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. Well, first off, am I coming through coherently?
You are for the moment.
Well, yeah.
You be nice.
You be nice. Jeez Louise. Well, here, let me change my bandwidth a little bit, see if that maybe holds up. So how am I now?
Good for the moment. We'll let you know when
Okay.
it messes up again.
Okay. Let's see. This broadcast is brought to you by Zenith Drones. When you want to reach out and kill someone, use Zenith Drones.
Oh, dude, I was thinking like a GoPro drone, not a...
When I think drones, I think like drone strikes and shit. So.
You went all Obama on our ass.
Oh yeah, you going Obama on your ass. But also speaking of superhero stuff, so I have been over the last couple of months binging the Arrow TV show and recently the Flash TV show.
How you liking them?
And I gotta say, I am not any kind of DC maven. I recognize a lot of the stuff in there just from sort of osmosis knowledge over the years, but the DC superhero shows are miles and miles above in overall entertainment value than anything Marvel's putting out, short of the first season of Daredevil. I mean, it's knowingly campy. It is decidedly classic comic book with cliffhangers at the end of every episode kind of affair kind of deal. It knows where it stands. It doesn't try to be anything more than what it is. And it's overall, save for the occasional episode here or there that's kind of weak. And some of the soap opera addicts, which isn't nearly as bad as Vampire Diaries, but does remind at some points. It's pretty good. And I really like it so far.
Do you think maybe DC is just not good at long form? Because their cartoons are better too.
Oh, their animation. No, you see, everything DC does that isn't a movie, like an actual cinema movie, is pretty good. I mean, they've been up in the animated department ever since Batman the Animated Series. That really set the tone, and everybody had that to go by from then on.
I think with their movies, they've had two problems. One, the success of the Nolan Batman series. It worked with the Dark Knight because the Dark Knight was so dark.
Yes.
But they also had the success of the darkness of the oh God, who did the original Batman?
Tim Burton.
Burton, thank you.
Yeah.
With the Burton series, which was also pretty fucking dark.
Well, Batman is a dark, gritty character. It works for him.
But he wasn't always. There was, I mean, Batman started out pretty gay.
Well, it depends on how you look. I mean,
success...
if you're talking, if you're talking about the Silver Age, if you're talking about the old TV show, then yes, it was goofy and stupid and everything else. But if you actually go back to the original Bob Kane stories, they were dark as fuck. I mean, you look at those original stories with the first appearance of the Joker and everything. it was gritty as
Yeah.
hell. People were getting murdered and everything. It was really, really Dick Tracy era dark stuff. So it's not.
Well,
too
he was a
far off the mark.
detective, so that made sense.
Yeah, right.
And I think that DC just made they took the wrong message from the Batman movies.
Yes.
Because like the Superman movies were campy, and even though people loved them, especially the first one,
Mm-hmm.
I think especially like with the failure of Superman 4, which was just trash,
Yeah.
that they got away from what you were talking about with the shows. They're campy.
Mhm.
Comic books should be.
Yes.
They shouldn't be this really serious thing unless you're in a very specific, like if you had a silly, funny Punisher show, that would be horrible.
Yeah. Well, except for that
That's
one
not what
time
this
where
comic is about.
the Punisher versus Archie, which was awesome.
Okay.
Did you know about that comic book?
I did not, but I
Okay,
would love
so
to
there,
see it.
there was this story arc where there was this character, this criminal that Punisher was chasing from New York, who was, for the most part, an exact lookalike for Archie Andrews. And so he chases this guy to Riverdale, and then he mistakes Archie for this criminal, and the Punisher's hunting Archie in this comic book. It's the weirdest team up ever. But that aside, the message DC didn't take from the Nolan situation was, you craft the tone of the movie around the spirit of the character.
Yes.
You don't craft the tone of the movie around darkness or grit. So Nolan's aesthetic for Batman worked because Batman lives in a dark, vengeful city. His tone is dark. His entire, outlook is dark. That works. For Superman, it's got to be. I mean, I hate to say it, but Superman Returns with Brandon Ruth or whatever that Bryan Singer did a few years ago with what's his name is Lex Luthor, which I suddenly forget his name
Kevin
because he's
Spacey.
such a famous actor. Yeah, Kevin Spacey, Lex Luthor. Even though the movie is, it is miles away in the same tone that it should be for Superman as compared to Man of Steel.
Yeah,
I talked about it before. There's this one scene where Superman saves a crashing jetliner and safely lands it in the middle of a stadium, and then he goes inside the plane, the cabin, and says to all the people, "Is everyone all right? And by the way, I hope this doesn't discourage you from using air travel because it is one of the safest travel things in the world." It's perfect. That's exactly what Superman should be doing, and that is the kind of Superman that you want to see confronting Nolan's Batman and see that kind of conflict. But that's not what we get. We get two brooding monsters hitting each other over Martha. You're like, oh god.
Yeah.
Have you guys
Do you remember when
ever
Superman's
seen
catchphrase was "Truth, Justice, and the American Way"?
Yeah.
I mean, they just sucked all of the life out of him trying to turn him into Batman. And I'm sorry, SD, what were you saying?
Have you guys ever seen Spoilers Ahead? Like a series that Lyle McDouchebag does.
No.
I have not.
He did one for Man of Steel, and you guys should watch it. It's some funny shit. It's hilarious.
Yeah, I really hate what they did to Superman because he is supposed to be, especially the way that the city reacts to him. That is just fucking retarded.
Yes. It's like, oh my god, what a hero. He just destroyed your city.
Yeah.
He could have taken this fight to the moon, but God forbid he does anything to care about other people's feelings or lives or nothing. Insane. But anyway, back to the TV show. So I started watching The Arrow, and it is kind of a Batman-esque sort of aesthetic. You've got the Arrow in this version of things comes to town with a sort of vengeance agenda. It's very dark. It's very depressing. It's almost overly so to the point where even the show kind of acknowledges its darkness at certain points. And that's what kind of makes it tolerable, is that the show's at least self-aware and not trying to take itself too seriously. But then what's interesting, thank you, Falcon. Yes, air travel is extremely safe. FYI, I've been in a plane crash. I wasn't flying. I'm sorry. I'm glad you're okay. But as I was talking before about you want to see the Christopher Reeve Superman having to have a conversation with the Nolan Batman. On the flip side, the Flash TV show, both the aesthetic of the city and the storyline and the characters' attitudes are the light as compared to Arrow's dark. And so when they have the inevitable crossover episodes, you really do get that conflict of two completely different perspectives on how to be a hero. You get Green Arrow, who's very serious, very focused, very militant, very dark about things. And then you get the Flash, who's much more upbeat, much more pure, true blue hero. And that makes it really interesting. And that's what I would hope would happen with these kind of movies. But DC doesn't seem to get that with their films, whereas their TV shows really get it. And it's kind of, both on the one hand, it's kind of depressing that they can't get that through their heads in the cinema side of things. But on the TV side, it's fun, pulp, just superhero stuff. And like I say, it surpasses anything Marvel's doing on their television shows, really, overall.
I think Marvel has been just way too serious in their television shows.
Which is weird, given how their movies are so relatively upbeat. You know, it's kind of the reverse. It's like
Well,
in so many ways.
I mean, it's not the same writers, is it? Writers.
No,
but
I
it's
think
still the same company heading it.
Well, this is the thing. I don't know. You see, Marvel, I know, has two different people running the TV side and the film side.
Gotcha,
Ike
okay.
Pearl, Kevin Feige runs Marvel Studios, the movie side, and then Ike Perlmutter runs the TV side of things. Now, they both work for the same company. They both have, as far as I've heard behind the scenes, conflicting visions of how these things should work. This is why you haven't yet seen crossovers between the TV stuff and the movie stuff, at least not directly.
Real quick, Scribe, you said the Arrow and it has triggered Mara. If you don't correct yourself and just say Arrow, I think she might actually go into labor.
Okay. The show is called Arrow, and then there is The Flash.
There you
And
go.
there
No,
is-
we were just making fun of you in chats, wondering if you call it the Facebook and the Google as well.
Well, I kept my chat focused on Falcon's last super chat because I need to come up with a product
How about
for him.
An airline. Just saying.
Okay. This broadcast is brought to you by Falcon Millennial Airlines. Any landing you can walk away from is a good landing with Falcon Millennial Airlines.
Well done.
Not to make light of your plane crash, I couldn't help it. I apologize. Anyway, yeah, the Arrow.
We don't apologize around here.
Oh, that's right. I don't apologize. No, I'm proud of everything I've ever done. But anyway, so I'm on the second. So I've finished seasons 1 through 4 of Arrow. I'm in the second season of Flash, and Netflix just the other day updated all of their superhero show seasons. So like season 5 of Arrow is now available. Season 3 of Flash is available. So the plan is to finish out Flash through season 3, then move on to Legends of Tomorrow, and go through all of that, and then go back to Arrow and finish up season 5 onto Supergirl season 2, because that just came out.
Cool.
This
Okay.
is my life now.
Guys, don't forget to hit that like button down there. It really does help us out. Should we turn it over to chat? We got about half an hour left.
Yes, it is chat time. So chat, if you have anything you'd like us to talk about or any questions, be sure to put a good couple of question marks after your sentence. Oh, Falcon Millennial, I fucking hate the airlines. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I'll do a different.
Pick the product.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Tell me what you want me to do next time.
So that's why
Let's
he
see.
fly himself. Nicely
Let's
done.
see. Some Dumb American, have you watched Alien or Aliens yet?
One of those gross ass alien movies.
I didn't.
Yes.
Yeah, I would imagine you like those because they're kind of bug looking.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, I don't like them. I'm not watching that shit.
She has an aversion to bugs.
Grow up.
Oh, it was so
Okay.
cute today. I was
Why-
outside. What?
Why do you say that like that's weird? Doesn't everybody have an aversion to bugs?
Not to all bugs. No, not to the point where if somebody sent me a picture, I'd be like, "Oh no," and triggered and
I'll
blocked
block
them.
you if you send me a picture of a bug.
The Nificus Ignis says, Scribe, do you mind if I use the advertisement you made for me? No, you guys, as far as I'm concerned, you guys paid for it. If you want to cut it out of the video and make use of it somewhere, somehow, if it's, by all means, I put no trademark on it at all. Scribe, it's my birthday. Sing me happy birthday. Okay.
Whose birthday is it?
Lucky 7.
Oh, lucky 7. Happy birthday.
Okay.
Zum Geburtstag viel Glück, zum Geburtstag viel Glück, alles Gute, zum Geburtstag viel Glück. There you go.
There'll be
Yeah.
subtitles later.
Yeah, it's German, by the way, which makes me a Nazi probably.
Nazis.
Let's see. Legends of Tomorrow. This is irate. Is just now getting good. Season 2. First season is 50% shit. As long 50% shit is 50% less shit than Vampire Diaries, so that's fine.
Man, that you really hated that, didn't you?
Oh God, man, it was worse sitting through that than Jessica Jones, and I had a problem sitting through Jessica Jones. So
the Jack Cochran just said, "I just bought Logan. Haven't watched it yet. Do I watch B&W or theatrical?" I would actually watch it in black and white.
Yeah, that's what I hear is pretty good.
I haven't watched it myself, but having watched the movie, I think it would have been a lot better in the black and white setting.
Scribe Light, is the BDSM community in your area considers switches a valid thing? I am not plugged into the BDSM community in my area, so to speak. I am an island unto myself, pretty much. I don't go to clubs or anything. I'm not a public player per se. I can say that during the time that my club was in action, switches were as valid as anything else. Like sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't. That's just kind of how it works. So whatever.
Is Steve Shives a bug? And if so, can we send mass amounts of Shives to SDA? He's a little weasel. Don't send her bug pictures, guys. Seriously, she does not like them.
1 Ton
I
Hammer.
will block you.
She will.
Ooh, that's a threat. 1 Ton Hammer, off topic, but I was hoping I could get the band to wish my friend Victoria Rose a happy birthday. No ad required. Oh, well, shall we sing Victoria? Shall we sing Victoria Rose a happy birthday?
I'm not singing songs, but happy birthday, Victoria.
Happy birthday, Victoria Rose. Scribe.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Miss Victoria Rose. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
Consider that the replacement for an ad.
There you
if
go.
That's of any help. So yeah. What else we got?
Hey Peter, did you ask your question yet?
Did Peter have a question? Did I miss it?
I don't know.
Monkey, did you see?
Go ahead.
No, it's fine.
Did you see that Stephen Matthews left a comment on Bloodwing's video? I did not.
Who's Stephen Matthews?
He's the guy I made my last video about.
Oh, the guy with the "you're a poopy head"?
No, he didn't call me a poopy head. He called me a motherfucker and a few other choice names.
Oh, okay.
Citation required, motherfucker. All right, bitch.
Scribe Light, did you get that from the Pacific? Get what? If you're talking about the song I sang, I was doing my Marilyn Monroe kind of thing.
From when she sang to President Kennedy in front of his wife.
Yes. Which was amazing. One of the most amazing.
It is such a great moment in American history.
Can you imagine if that happened today with today's technology and media? God. That would have been like the worst thing
I need to
happen
actually
to a president
look that
ever.
up.
Oh, go watch
classic.
it.
I mean, it's really grainy now. Yeah, just remember that this is a woman who was probably more likely than not at the time having an affair with the president, and this was at the president's birthday party where he's sitting next to his wife while she's doing this. It's just amazing.
And it is so slutty. It was great.
Yeah.
I every time I think of it, I think of Dave Chappelle. Bitch, my wife is right here.
Yeah.
Oh man.
American Gods, Scribe Light. I haven't seen American Gods yet. I've seen some clips on YouTube, but I don't have any of the pay channels, so I haven't seen American Gods yet.
Do we have other questions? Did we miss something?
Yeah, be sure to put those question marks in there, guys. Isn't that song copyrighted? Actually, it's gone into the public domain. It was kind of forced in there over the last couple of years because of the commonality of it. There was a time where if you used that song in a TV show or any kind of public performance, you had to pay some kind of royalty back to, I forget who it was. It was some company, but
they lost a lawsuit over it.
Yeah, exactly. Somebody sued them for like, okay, this is a song that is in the public domain. You guys can't keep charging people for it, and the court agreed. So then they had to refund a bunch of people a bunch of money, and now "Happy Birthday" is a public domain song.
SDA, did you like the bikini that Bloodwing made for you?
I'm not wearing it on stream.
I'll
What
put
if
it that
what if
way.
me and Scribe also wear it?
No,
Jacob, I'll tell you what.
I'd be looking at you two.
Jacob, if you just spoiled something for me in a TV show I haven't finished yet, I'm going to be very cross with you. I don't like spoilers for stuff I'm still in the middle of watching, so I'm going to try to forget that you said that. Have I seen Knights of Badassdom? No, I've heard of it. I haven't seen it.
Scribe Light, what are your thoughts on the pup culture that I guess would be considered a subsect of the BDSM community?
I do not know what pup culture is, so this is how plugged in I am. I don't know what you're going to have to
It's a gay
clarify.
thing.
Is
It's
it?
a gay thing. Yeah,
I
it's
don't know.
fucking weird.
I don't know.
The gays are odd.
Well, that's
You
just
know why the gays are odd? This is gonna blow your mind here.
Uh-oh.
Women keep men from getting too fucking weird. You guys really do. We keep our weirdest shit away from you. So when you get two guys together, it's just gonna get freaky because every fucking nasty thing they've ever thought of is gonna be done. And
Yeah,
I'm not saying that's a bad thing.
It's true.
It's just that there's no women involved, so there's no boundaries there.
Kobanizer,
That's my take.
you know how many books I've read? I was an English major, still am. I have read more books than I really care to think about, and I still read books. But I have fun watching cheesy TV shows with my friends and making fun of them. It's entertaining for me. So I read books, mostly about serial killers and weird cults and things, or comic books. You know, I'm literate, kind of.
I read magazines when I'm waiting in line at the store.
You pull out People and Us magazine, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I actually haven't read recently, but when I do read, I don't buy books. I read on my Kindle. Well, on my phone Kindle app.
You know what I miss at the checkout line at the grocery store? I'm sure maybe it's somewhere else, but it's not. It's no longer at my local grocery store. Weekly World News.
Oh, I loved Weekly World News.
Yeah, with like Bat Boy and like prophecies from Nostradamus and all these other crazy things. I love getting Weekly World News.
My favorite one was there was a story that China was going to all jump simultaneously to throw the Earth out of its orbits. I was like, that is fucking awesome.
Perfect.
Falcon wants to know what
see.
the heck is with all the gay BDSM and weird shit. It's how we roll.
Yeah, BDSM is part of my sexuality, for lack of a better phrase, and I'm not gay, but I don't know. Let's see.
Jesse just asked me Marvel or DC. Marvel, obviously.
Colton says pup culture has to do with one being a puppy and the other being a handler. It's kind of like an older little thing or a master slave thing. Oh.
It's also a gay thing.
Oh. Well, I mean, as long as we're not like edging into like furry territory, I suppose if you want to be like the pet and you want the other person to be the pet owner kind of thing, as long as it's all done in safe, sane, and consensually, I don't know. It doesn't sound.
The show.
I mean,
I'd say the show Bones once highlighted this, except for instead of puppies, they did it with horses.
Oh yeah.
So it's weird, but as long as you're not hurting nobody, have fun.
Yeah, it's not a furry thing, but it's a gay thing, and they do it at Pride and shit too. It's weird as fuck.
Let's see. Philip Daniel says the S in BDSM actually stands for sodomy, you walking prolapses. Not really. It stands for sadism, masochism, or sadomasochism, depending on.
Yes.
There's a couple of different variants on there, but yeah. So anyway.
I mean, sodomy can be part of it, but it's not what the letter stands for.
Sure. That's not what the letter stands for.
And remember, guys, sodomy includes blowjobs, so you better be in favor of it.
Mm-hmm. So watch out for those sodomy laws in your local state, if they still exist.
Yeah, that sucked when we lived in Virginia.
Scribe Light, it's a joke. Well, since there's no inflection in text, I was just making sure that everybody was well informed. Let's see. Ranting Monkey, Scribe Light, tell SDA, I'm sorry for the aliens question. It's just you were talking movies in an earlier stream. No, no problem.
Don't take her
I'm
so
not actually offended.
Don't take her so seriously.
No,
she can't be
I
offended.
just don't like gross stuff. I'm sorry. Now I feel bad.
No.
Scribe Light. It's just satire, bro.
Yeah, okay. It's just a prank, bro.
Colton
Yeah,
asks-
have we heard anything about Daddy 05 recently?
No.
Yeah.
Last I knew, they were in court.
Okay, I was just curious. We don't have
Joyce
to stay.
Sparkles has moved on, so I'm not up to
Okay.
speed. Colton says, "Wait, what? Sodomy includes blowjobs?" Yes.
Mhm.
Sodomy includes pretty much anything other than standard sex.
Yeah. So if it is an orifice other than the vagina, that is pretty much sodomy is included in there.
Yep.
We call it a snoochadoodle or a smush.
That's right.
Pick
Yes.
one.
Pardon moi.
Somebody asked if you were feeling better, Scribe. Who was that? That was the
Oh,
Triggerati. Said,
I'm
"Hope you're
feeling
better."
I think miles and miles away better than I was yesterday, and definitely the day before that, and even this morning. I mean, everything kind of broke around halfway into today. I was feeling kind of feverish most of the morning, and then sometime around noon-ish, it all started fading out. And as of this speaking, I'm in normal shape as far as I can tell. We'll see what happens when I wake up tomorrow morning. But thank you, though.
Mara Jane says, "Bae, if you don't like gross stuff, well, I won't FaceTime you in labor then." Labor is really fucking gross.
Yeah,
It is.
I've seen it.
Look, if you FaceTime me in labor, just keep it like chest up. We had like in biology class, we had to watch a bitch give birth, and holy
Bitch give birth.
crap,
when a bitch give birth.
it was the worst thing I have ever seen.
I remember the video.
Oh my god. The other thing is too, my mom has talked about it, and she's like, I've watched other people have, and it's just amazing watching the miracle. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? That's the most disgusting thing that happens.
It's not disgusting when it's your own kid, but
Oh,
otherwise, yeah, it's gross as
disgusting.
shit. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Scribe.
I was just about to say the educational video they showed us way back in I think it was junior high. I don't remember much except for the fact that you get to see the actual crowning and the baby come out and all that fun stuff. But the more creepy part of it was it had its own theme song
Nice.
as it opened up, and it was the video was called "My Mom's Having a Baby," and it had to be from 1976 or something because it looked like it, and the song went, "My mom's having a baby, do 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 do."
That is creepy as fuck.
No, and the do 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 do, that was part of the song. I'm not filling in lyrics with sounds. I was like, it's just so uncomfortable.
Do 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 do. SDA Peter wants to know what your favorite flower is.
Yes.
I like tiger lilies.
Oh, that's
Ooh.
pretty. The Triggerati says, "Don't ever say crowning again at Scribe Lake."
I apologize. Let's see. I've got two kids, and both births were the worst bloodbaths I've seen, says Papa Fuzz. Okay. I'll take your word for it.
It's
Nasty.
It's not pretty. I do think placenta's neat looking.
Some people eat placentas afterwards. It's a whole ritual
That's
thing.
disgusting.
Yeah.
But I do
I
know
know,
that, yes.
but also shut up.
Why do witches burn, says Adamar? Because they're made of Satan.
Shouldn't they be
Did you
fire resistant then?
You would think so.
Yeah, no. You would hope so, but
I had a teacher in high school. No, I was actually
who was fire resistant?
no, but
Oh.
if any of the guys ever lied, she would just go, "Liars go to hell, burn, burn, burn," and just
Liar, go to hell, burn, burn, burn. What kind of school did you go to?
It was in a Christian
I'm-
school, but she was nuts. So
Yeah.
Love you.
Night, night, Lady Monkey.
good night, Lady Monkey. Try not to throw up.
Yeah.
Kara asked if we played it on a sports team and if your team won. I never played on organized sports. We always played pickup games, and my team always won because I was the best quarterback.
I was on a Boys and Girls Club T-ball team when I was 6 or something.
Oh, I did play T-ball when I was 5. Yeah.
Yeah, that's about as close as I ever got to organized sports. I never did anything other than the brief school stuff they made you do.
And we lost and had to watch the other teams get trophies. So it built
Yeah, I
character.
played organized sports pretty much all the way up through high school. I mean, I was on good teams mostly.
I was asked by Rational Outlaw, I think it was.
Oh.
Yeah, if I would consider subscribing to your channel. I will check it out after I'm done here, and if I like it, yeah.
Let's see.
Did
Now I
just see a
want to
comment
see
about-
us.
Yeah. I was
Well,
just
somebody
gonna
says they want to
ask
see you
about
in a Catholic schoolgirl outfit.
I still have my uniform clothes.
Well, you know,
I told her she should wear that on stream too, and she said no.
I'm not wearing
your phone has a camera, you know.
You could at least hook me and Scribe
you-
up. Dang.
Yeah, I know.
Are you asking for something, Scribe?
I don't ask. You have a Catholic schoolgirl outfit, so and your camera has your camera has a phone. Your phone has a camera. So, need I say more?
Thoughts from the dryer says they came out butt first. I came out asleep.
You came out asleep?
I did.
You were so bored of your own birth. Okay.
I was breached, so they had to C-section me.
Scribelite, SDA, Ranting Monkey. If I were to make a video, will you watch it? Says Zenith. Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends on what it's a video of. I mean, hopefully it's something tasteful, relatively. But yeah, sure.
This
Start
is like
telling you-
Zenith, right?
Yeah, Zenith. Yeah, just start your own YouTube channel, yo.
And yeah, I'll watch it.
People are warning you off from putting on your Catholic schoolgirl outfit for me.
Why?
Why would
Well,
they
bastards.
have me?
I don't know. Hate is gonna hate.
Hate is gonna hate. You are the whitest person I've ever heard say that.
I know. Stop
Uh,
being weird about your duck fetish, Peter, says Mara. Okay. Crikey.
No, he keeps calling her a duck, and it's fucking weird. And he needs to
Ow.
knock it off.
Why is he calling her a duck?
Because she's pregnant and he's a meanie butt. That's why. And
Oh,
he needs to do a stop it.
A meanie butt. Okay. Ranting Monkey, what is your monkey pronoun? Asks Borg Warner.
My preferred pronoun is my Lord and Savior. So if you're talking about me, you would say, Ranting Monkey's a nice guy. My Lord and Savior is wonderful.
Scribelite, what was something, if you can recall, that either annoyed or confused you to no end as a kid? So for a long time, I thought that when you turned off the television, what you were watching was paused until you turned it on again. And this was only enforced by the fact that one time I was watching some cartoon show or some TV show, and I turned it off in the morning, and I turned the TV back on again late in the afternoon, the evening or something, when they reran the thing I watched or whatever, and it basically picked up exactly where I left off. And so from that point onward, I believe that's what how TVs worked. And so every time after that I would turn off the TV, and when I was watching something, I turn it back on and something else was playing, I would be like, why did my show stop? You know, it took me a while to figure that out, but what didn't take me long, but I was very young. I was like 3 or 4 or something. So,
Do any of you have odd birthmarks?
well, it's not quite a birthmark, but it is a stain upon my character that I have such a big dick.
I'm gonna share something with you. I have this wonderful dream of being kidnapped, so that my wife has to give the police, identifying marks.
Yeah.
And tell them that my birthmark is on my dick.
Do you actually have a birthmark on your dick?
I have a birthmark on my dick.
What is it shaped like, and where is it?
It's on the shaft on the right side, kind of top, and it's just kind of a little round circle.
Okay. Yeah, would you call it a freckle?
No. It's a little smaller than a quarter.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's a birthmark.
That's a big fairy kiss.
Yes, it is.
I wonder what it was doing down
Well,
there.
some people, there's a meme that goes around that says your birthmark is a sign of the trauma that caused your death in a previous life.
Oh shit!
I'm so glad I don't remember that.
You were castrated in a previous life. You were a eunuch. You were a eunuch,
Well, the funny
or a castrati. Maybe you were a castrati.
one of my friends has always told me that he thinks I'm very much like Dr. House, and there's an episode of House where he talks about how he has a birthmark on his dick.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, when I'm watching, I'm like, oh my god, yeah, I am him.
Oh, a spotted monkey dick. Yeah, it sounds
Yes,
like some
yes.
kind of like a rare bird.
Sounds like a delicacy in like India or something.
Spotted monkey dick.
SDA, any birthmarks?
No, not birthmarks.
But for serious, I do have as far as birthmarks, I do have it's shrunk over the decades, but I was born with a bald spot on my head, on my scalp. It was just blank skin amongst all the hair. You couldn't see it unless I pointed it out to you or had my head like shaved practically. But over the years, it's shrunk practically to nothing. It's now kind of more like it feels more like a little bump of callus than does anything else. It's not really a bald spot anymore.
Any hickey no-go areas? I don't like hickeys.
Yeah, I don't know. Scribe light is lacy green.
Blame.
Sorry, what?
Hickey no goes there. No goes. Nah. Okay. Whatever they said. Nothing that I have to explain to anybody.
Okay. Scribe light has lacy green ever responded to you about a BDSM stream? No, but I have been invited to a stream about BDSM with. Well, I won't say what the roster is because it's still kind of in play. But someone contacted me today asking if I'd be interested in joining in on a stream, and some of the people involved are people that I know. So we'll see in the future.
Irate Prostate just said, "I have a birth minute." Oh my god! You see what you just did?
Me did?
You did when you couldn't speak. Now I can't speak.
I'm sorry.
I have a birthmark
Proceed.
shaped like Yazi Kodo.
Oh God, Aquavia.
Oh my god. Oh guys,
okay.
we have 4 minutes left. So
yeah, last call, guys. So if you have anything, and let's see, tomorrow night we're on Monkey's channel.
Monkey's channel at 9:30,
Yes.
guys. We will be late tomorrow.
Yeah, 9:30 Eastern, 6:30 Pacific.
And I may be a little late if you guys do start at 9 on Tuesday, but after that, I should be here at normal time every day.
Okie doke.
So,
let's see.
Natalie has a birthmark on her hip.
Ooh.
What's it look like?
Yeah, what
Is
shape?
it on the outside, like by your bikini line?
You know, wouldn't it be awesome if you had a birthmark that was shaped like Mikhail Gorbachev?
Yes, especially if it was on your head.
Yeah, yeah.
It's one of my favorite parts of The Naked Gun because it's such a stupid joke, but where he cleans off Gorbachev's head. I knew it.
I knew it. It's tomato juice.
Bloodwing, Teal Deer, peace be upon him. Man, when you kept doing that, that shit made me laugh
That
so
was funny.
hard.
That was funny.
Again, guys, don't forget to check out Bloodwing's video after this. Also, I'm a huge fan of the YouTube Saints. They actually start their Sunday night stream at 10:30. So if you're looking for something to watch after this, go check them out. It's Jeff Holiday and Wizard of Cause. Yeah, The Naked Gun was awesome. The Naked Gun is one of my favorite movies. It's one of the few of those of that genre that I can watch over and over. I can literally just start it over when it's done because I fucking love that movie. Nice beaver. Any other questions? Things you'd like us to talk about? You got 2 minutes, guys.
And remember, between now and tomorrow night, if you have any or find any news stories that you think you'd like to have us read or talk about or feature, send them on Twitter to hashtag MSSNews. And yeah. And remember that we rotate. Oh, yeah, sorry.
That's good. Please don't get offended if we don't get to your story. We've been getting so many and we love you guys for it, but we do get a lot of those.
Yeah. And do remember that we rotate the Monkey Stream every night between one of our 3 channels. So be sure to subscribe to all of us if you have the opportunity. The links to Monkey's channel and SDA's channel are in the description box if you're not already subscribed. And pay attention on Twitter. If schedule changes or somehow the rotation changes on that, we will definitely alert you ahead of time on there when we can. And I think we're just about done. So, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, everybody in the chat, thank you so much for coming out tonight. Thank you for all the well wishes last night and today. Thank you for the stories and thank you for the questions. And everybody who donated, thank you so much.
Good to have you back.
I appreciate it. It's occasionally nice to take a little day off. Yesterday was just sort of a matter of necessity just because of my energy level, but hopefully that'll be a rare event. I like coming on here every night as much as I can. And anyway, Monkey, thanks again for coming out with us tonight. SDA, as always, thank you. And my life makes me healthier by the day. So thanks for coming out, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.